Hello friends, my name is Hadassah Treu. I am an award-winning Christian author, blogger and poet. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I bring hope and comfort from God's Word. Today I want to share with you some helpful ways how to process disappointments biblically. Everybody experiences disappointments. Perhaps this year you have experienced many disappointments in your work, ministry or relationships. Perhaps some goals and dreams you wanted to come to fulfillment didn't come and you feel disappointment and discouragement. The problem is that disappointments leave wounds in our hearts when they go unprocessed. And it is very, very important that we process disappointments biblically and let the Lord heal our wounds. So that's why I want to talk today about this topic and share some helpful steps how to do this biblically. But first, let's talk about why we need to process disappointments, and let's talk about the danger of unprocessed disappointments. Unprocessed disappointments can harm us in at least 3 ways. The first way is that disappointments breed lies. We start to talk to ourselves some other narratives, and like, for example, I'm not good enough. There is no need to chase this dream or goal anymore. I will not accomplish this goal. I'm a failure. I will never see fruits from my work. And you can imagine in this direction how many more lies disappointments can breed. The second way disappointments can harm us when they are left unprocessed is that they rob us of our passion and desire. Our motivation dwindles and the things that have used to bring us joy and we have used to do this with passion and enthusiasm, suddenly we start to do this with frustration and with less enthusiasm, with less joy, with less motivation. But the most dangerous thing is that disappointments can pull us away from God. We may start to question God's calling and call on our life. We start to question perhaps His promises and the vision He has given us. We can even start to accuse Him why He didn't help us to accomplish what He has given us, why He hasn't helped us to have success. And we can really start to move away from God and to distance our hearts from Him. So what can we do to prevent these dangers and how can we process disappointments biblically? I want to offer you 6 practical steps to do this. The first step is just to acknowledge and name our disappointments one by one, specifically and concretely. It is very helpful if we write them down. Perhaps this is even a better way to process and name them. The second step is to release them to God and to forgive. We need to forgive the people involved in these disappointments, perhaps the circumstances involved in these disappointments, because forgiveness helps us to free our hearts from bitterness and resentment and opens the way for God to bring healing in our hearts. The third step is to replace the lies born from these disappointments with truths. It is perhaps helpful to write down all these thoughts connected with the disappointment and then to replace this with concrete truth in God's Word. Truths related to our identity, to our work, to our ministries and to success. It is also good to pray these truths back to God and to declare them over ourselves. The next step, the fourth step, is to dedicate every area of disappointment to God. We simply dedicate each of these areas and ask God specifically for His blessing. If we need growth, we ask God for growth. If we need success and open door, we ask God for an open door. The next step is we ask for healing. Healing is a process, and it makes time. It may take time for God to heal the broken places, the wounded places in our hearts, the scars from the disappointments. But we need to ask concretely for God's healing and for His healing touch in these areas of our heart. And the last step is we ask God for restoration. We ask God to renew our strength, to renew our passion, to renew our joy, to renew our enthusiasm and our motivation in the areas that we experience disappointments. So let me now once again share with you or summarize these 6 steps. So the first step is we name our disappointments. The second step is we ask for forgiveness. The third step is we acknowledge and name the lies born from the disappointment and replace them with the truth. The next step is to dedicate every area of disappointment to God and ask for His blessing. The fifth step is to ask for God's healing, and the sixth step is to ask for restoration in this area. And I want to read to you some encouraging Bible truths in processing our disappointments. For example, for the Lord your God will bless you in all your harvest and in all your work of your hands, and your joy will be complete. Deuteronomy 16:15. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it. Proverbs 10:22. The wages of the righteous is life. Proverbs 10:16. The prospect of the righteous is joy. Proverbs 10:28. And one of my favorite verses, which I will read to you. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Genesis 28:15. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Friends, the Lord wants to bless you, your ministries, your lives, your relationships, and it is simply up to us to process our disappointments on the way, to open our hearts for His healing and for His restoration, and to move on and to press on in the way He is leading us. So we can say with the psalmist, you make known to me the path of life, you will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures in your right hand. God can redeem every failure and every disappointment. And when we believe this, we are good on the way, and we can continue to advance on the way of faith and on the way of life. So what is the biggest disappointment in your life? Can you process it by using these 6 steps? I hope this post has encouraged and helped you, and if this is so, I would be very happy if you like it, if you share it, and if you comment. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time.